Alright guys, so it's been a while. I'm out here working on the mud mower again. So I guess that makes this update number 3. As you can see out my window, it is a shitty rainy day today. So much so that my garage is actually taking on a little water. It's just been pouring all morning, so it has a tendency to come in here if it puddles up too much. Here's what we got going on for today. We're going to try to do some rear axle mounting. You can see I got the 2 hubs, axle shaft, some brakes, hardware, and my 1-inch pillow block bearings. And here's the tires we're going to be using. I've showed you guys these before, but they're 25-inch by 10-inch mounted to a 12-inch rim, and they came off of a side-by-side utility vehicle. My buddy picked these up real cheap, so we threw them on the mower, and now they're going to go on to his new mower. You can see inside here we've got the frame partially prepped for the new axle bracket, I guess you could call it. We're going to build like a triangulated mount that comes down and then comes back up, maybe with a side support, something like that. Fairly simple, but hopefully very strong. So unfortunately I didn't go get the metal I needed to complete the rear axle. I just wanted to work with clear metal, so instead I've got this big rusty son of a bitch, and this thing's like 10 feet long, so this will be more than adequate to get the job done. It's probably like 1/4 inch thickness. I've also got these 2 smaller little bastards. So together, the son of a bitch and the bastards, I'm pretty sure we can come up with something. Yeehaw! So we got that big rusted piece of angle iron all cut up. You can see how thick that thing is. It's just ridiculous. These pieces just weigh a lot. Alright, so the general idea here is we need to get the axle center somewhere down in here, whereas the old one used to be pretty much a couple inches off the bottom of this C-channel frame. So to do that, we're going to use our big pieces of angle that we just cut, and one of them is actually going to sit as a downright off of the back here, and that's going to get welded into place. And this other one will just kind of sit at an angle. It's pretty simple. Now obviously I've got to notch this piece a little bit to get the fit right, but you get the general idea. So I've got to do a lot of cleaning up with the grinder, and I'm not going to bore you guys with that, so we'll see you in just a second. Alright, so you should be getting the idea now, and the bearing is going to mount something like that on the bottom, sort of at an angle. It obviously won't be a problem, but it'll be different. But I got to cut this tab off, finish welding and grinding and cleaning up all this metal, and then move over to the other side. And then we're going to start drilling some holes and hopefully get this axle mounted. So I got the one side all welded on, and you can see my welds are still covered in slag because I don't have a wire brush for some reason. I can't find it in my mess of a garage. But it should also be noted that for some reason I decided to wear these cloth-backed gloves, and they're good for a lot of things. Welding is not one of them, because I managed to burn a hole in my middle finger. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is a deep fucking hole. I couldn't get the glove off fast enough. So yeah, I'm going to have to upgrade to a pair of leather gloves. But it's all welded on, and we're going to move on to the other side. So with that all out of the way, I'm actually going to take this whole tractor and flip it kind of end over so I can drill holes through the bottom of these pieces of angle iron for my new bearings. So let's just hope this doesn't just get disastrous. The frame and body are not one right now, so the whole thing is just obviously in excellent condition. Oh, I don't want to break that steering. Oh well, fuck it. If it breaks, it wasn't strong enough. So here's our bottom view. Much easier to work like this. But let's drill some freaking holes. So you can see we've gotten the bearings bolted in here, and the beauty part about these things is they actually have the ability to slide up and down, you know, to adjust for, I guess you would call it the yaw of the axle. So that's kind of handy. Need my rubber mallet. So obviously there's some play in here right now, and it's not bolted all the way in, and the centering isn't completely perfect, but whatever. I'm going to put the wheels on, and we're going to get this thing sitting and see how much clearance it's got under the rear end. Good God! Oh, jeez. Ooh. So we've got the tires here, and you can see I've got the hubs temporarily bolted in with just 2 bolts, because I don't really care, this isn't going to be a finished product. I just want to get the wheels on. There. So there's the back end of it. Bearings mounted, axle in, tires on. Obviously, like I said, nothing right now is permanent, nothing centered, as you can see. So it looks a little funny. It looks like a friggin' giant monster truck or something. It just looks weird. Obviously still needs sprocket and brakes. I got the hood on there, so let's check this thing out from the front. You can see I busted the hood on accident a little while ago. That kind of sucks, but we might figure something out with that. Just look at the clearance on this thing. I mean, obviously that tire's a little flat, but I mean, good lord. It is just ridiculous. Next thing we're going to have to do is be working on the front end, figuring out how to make that as sturdy and huge as the rear end. So just as a size comparison, I'm 5 foot 6 inches tall, and the steering wheel comes up to my chest. So I mean, that's right around 4 feet for the steering wheel. The underneath, I would guess it's got about 2 feet of clearance under the center. Obviously less under the rear axle, but this thing already is pretty stable, considering it's on nothing but a 5-gallon bucket and the 2 wheels in the back. And I mean, it's pretty sturdy for how high it is, so that's good. So unfortunately guys, that's going to be it for me today. Let me know if you guys liked the video, rate it up or down, let me know what you think. It definitely helps me out a lot. Next update, I'm not really sure what we're going to be working on, but I'm sure we'll find something, because pretty much everything needs to be done. So I guess whatever I have parts for, we'll start working on. So stay tuned for the next update. Leave a comment below, tell me what you guys think, any suggestions. But until next update, see you guys later.